All right, so welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
And today we're going to get into something that I think is really, really cool.
Yeah.
We've all heard about AI this,
Mhm.
AI that, and AI is going to take over the world and all that jazz.
Right.
But have you ever thought about actually building your own AI applications?
It's funny you should say that because I actually just came across this really cool guide.
Oh,
And get this, it's actually from a Chinese source. And it talks about how anyone, even if you're not like a
well,
hardcore coder, can build these really practical AI apps.
that's awesome. I mean, I'm not a coder by any stretch of the imagination, but I'd love to be able to make my own AI tools.
Yeah, is
Like,
think
what kind of tools are we talking about here?
so this guide focuses on three main things:
Okay.
Python, Hugging Face, and Google Colab.
Huh. Okay, I've heard of Python, like the snake, right?
Well, yeah, but in this case, Python is a programming language and it's like super popular in the
Yep.
AI world.
Got it.
Like, seriously, over 80% of data scientists use it for AI development.
Yeah. Wow, 80%. So it must be pretty user-friendly then, if that many people are using it.
It is. It's known for its simple syntax, which basically means it's easy to read and understand.
Okay, that's good to know. So Python is like the foundation for our AI project then.
Exactly.
What about this Hugging Face thing? Sounds kind of cute, not very AI-ish.
Uh-huh, right. But don't let the name fool you.
Right.
Hugging Face is like this giant library, but instead of books, it's filled with pre-trained AI models.
Ooh, so that means we don't have to build the AI from scratch.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's like going to a bakery and grabbing a ready-made cake instead of baking it yourself.
Oh, I like that analogy.
You still get the deliciousness, but without all the work.
Much better. I'm all about shortcuts when it comes to baking, or AI, apparently.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got Python and Hugging Face. What about this Google Colab? Where does that fit in?
So think of Google Colab as your high-tech workshop.
Okay.
It's a cloud-based platform that gives you access to these super powerful computers.
Powerful computers, you mean like those big server rooms you see in movies?
Kind of, but you don't need a whole room for this.
Okay.
These are called GPUs and TPUs, and they're essential for doing all the heavy lifting in AI.
GPUs and TPUs. Those sound kind of familiar, like something to do with video games.
They are used for video games, yeah.
Right.
But they're also really important for AI because they can handle these huge amounts of data and complex calculations.
Gotcha. So they're like the brains of the operation.
Exactly. And the best part is Colab gives you access to these for free.
For free. So I don't need to go out and buy some crazy expensive supercomputer.
Nope.
Sweet.
All you need is an internet connection and a web browser.
Okay, so we've got our ingredients. Python for coding, Hugging Face for models, and Google Colab as our fancy workshop.
Right?
Now, how do we actually start building these AI applications? Where do we even begin?
Well, just like building a house, we need to start with the foundation.
Okay.
And the source talks about setting up something called a virtual environment, specifically Venv.
A virtual environment. Are we talking about VR headsets now? Going into the metaverse?
Haha, not quite. Imagine a virtual environment like a separate sandbox for each of your AI projects.
Okay.
It keeps things organized and prevents any conflicts.
Conflicts? Like what?
Well, think of it this way. Imagine you're working on a painting and you accidentally spill some paint on a sculpture you're also working on.
Oh no. That's a disaster.
Right. But a virtual environment is like having separate rooms for each project.
Ah, got it. So it's like keeping your AI projects from messing with each other.
Exactly.
Okay, I can see how that would be important.
And setting up a virtual environment is surprisingly easy.
Oh, good.
You can do it through the command line or even use a code editor like VSCode.
VSCode. That's like a special program for writing code, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like Microsoft Word, but for code.
Okay, makes sense.
And it has all these cool features that help you write, organize, and even debug your code.
Debugging, that sounds kind of scary. Like, I need to be some kind of tech detective to do that.
It's not as intimidating as it sounds.
Okay, good.
Think of it as a checkup for your code.
Okay.
It helps you find and fix any errors so that your AI application runs smoothly.
Makes sense.
And VS Code has built-in tools that make debugging much easier.
All right, so we've got our sandbox set up, our tools are ready, and we even know how to give our code a checkup.
Right?
What's next on our AI adventure?
Well, I think it's time we fired up Google Colab and unleashed some AI magic. What do you think?
Let's do it. I'm ready to see what these GPUs and TPUs can really do.
All right, so remember how we talked about text-to-image generation?
Oh yeah, where you can just type in some words and the AI creates a picture? That was mind-blowing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're going to try out right now, all within Google Colab.
Okay, Colab is open, ready to go, feeling powerful already. What's our first step?
First things first, we need to import some Python libraries.
Libraries. Like the ones with books.
Haha, not quite. But you can think of them like toolkits for specific AI tasks, kind of like gathering the right tools before you start building something.
Makes sense. You wouldn't want to start building a birdhouse and realize halfway through you're missing a hammer.
Exactly. So in this case, we'll need libraries like OS for interacting with the computer's files,
Okay.
Hugging Face Hub for getting the AI models from Hugging Face,
Got it.
and ipython.display for showing the images we create right here in Colab.
All right, Python toolkit assembled. What about the actual AI model that's going to make this image magic happen?
This is where Hugging Face comes in. Remember that giant library of pre-trained AI models?
Oh yeah, like choosing a pre-made cake?
Exactly. We're going to use a function called fromPretrained to download a text-to-image model directly from the Hugging Face library.
Download it. That's it. Sounds too easy.
It really is that simple. And thanks to Hugging Face's crazy fast download speeds, it'll be ready to go in a flash.
Crazy fast. How fast are we talking?
Think like up to 500 millibytes per second.
Whoa. My internet connection could only dream of those speeds.
Right. It really shows you the power of Google Colab and its infrastructure. It can handle these big downloads no problem.
Okay, so Python libraries are set, AI model downloaded. We're ready to start generating images right.
Almost. Now we need to tell the AI what we want it to create, basically giving it our creative instructions.
Ooh, so this is where the magic happens.
Exactly. We'll write some Python code to feed a text prompt to the model.
A text prompt. So like, if I want a picture of a robot dog walking on Mars.
Yep. You would literally type that phrase into the code, a robot dog walking on Mars.
No way, I can just type in plain English. That's amazing.
That's the beauty of these pre-trained models. They've already learned the complex relationships between words and images from tons and tons of data.
So they can take my simple description and turn it into a masterpiece. I'm already picturing this robot dog, maybe with a little spacesuit on, leaving paw prints in the red dust of Mars. What happens next?
Well, the model will process your request using all its knowledge to generate an image based on your description.
Okay, and then how do I see it?
Colab has this really cool feature that lets you display the generated image right there in your browser.
No need to download it or anything. That's super convenient.
Yep, it's all right there.
What if I want to save it, though? Or, like, share it with my friends who won't believe I just conjured up a robot dog on Mars?
Easy peasy. You can save the image straight to your Google Drive, which is connected to Colab.
Okay, cool. So I can download it, share it, do whatever I want with it?
Exactly.
This is seriously amazing. I'm starting to see why everyone's so excited about AI. It's really powerful, but also surprisingly user-friendly.
I know, right? And this is just one example. Remember, the source also talked about building a Discord bot that can transcribe audio in real time?
Oh, yeah. That one blew my mind, too. Like, having a personal AI assistant taking notes for you, how does that even work? All right, let's talk Discord bots. This real-time transcription thing, it sounds super useful.
Oh, yeah.
But also, I'm not going to lie, a little bit intimidating.
I get it. It definitely sounds more complex. But honestly, the core ideas are the same as what we just did with image generation.
Okay, so we're still using Python, Hugging Face, and Google Colab.
Exactly. We've got our AI dream team.
Right.
The main difference is we're dealing with audio now, and we're going to be interacting with the Discord platform.
Right. Makes sense. It's not just creating a static image. This bot has to listen and process audio constantly.
It's like having a super-powered ear always on.
Whoa. That's a cool way to think about it.
Yeah.
So where do we start with this super-powered ear project?
Well, the source starts with setting up the Discord bot itself.
Okay.
We need to make a bot account on Discord's developer portal.
Right.
Give it permission to join voice channels and access the audio streams.
So we're basically giving our bot the right credentials to work on Discord.
Exactly. Think of it like giving it a backstage pass.
Makes sense.
Okay, so once we've created our bot and given it access, what's next?
Yeah, what's next?
We got to choose a Python library to interact with the Discord API.
API now, there's another one of those techie acronyms.
I know, right? But think of an API as a set of rules that lets different programs talk to each other.
Okay, so it's like a translator between our bot and Discord.
You got it. The source recommends using PyCharm, and it even points out a specific challenge with handling empty audio frames.
Empty audio frames, what does that even mean?
Think about it. When you're having a conversation, there are natural pauses and silences.
Oh, yeah.
Those are empty audio frames.
Okay.
And the source actually provides a workaround so the bot doesn't get tripped up by those silent moments.
That's really helpful. So we've got our Discord bot all set up. Our Python library is talking to the API. What's the next piece of the puzzle?
Now comes the real magic, the transcription part, and guess who makes another appearance?
Let me guess. Hugging face.
You got it. We're going to use a pre-trained speech-to-text model from their library.
So it's kind of like the image generation, but instead of feeding the model text, we're giving it audio.
Exactly. We use a Python function to pass the audio data to the model, and then the AI works its magic, turning those sound waves into text.
That's incredible. But there's one thing I'm still wondering about. How do we keep this bot running all the time on Google Colab?
That's a great question. Colab isn't really designed to be a server that's always on.
Right, it's more like an interactive workspace.
Exactly. But the source has a solution. It talks about using something called an asynchronous programming approach.
Asynchronous. That sounds really complicated.
I know, right? But it's basically a way to let the bot listen for new audio and transcribe it without blocking other processes.
So it's like having a dedicated assistant who's always listening in the background, taking notes.
You got it. And the source even provides the code to make this happen.
So I don't need to be a coding genius to set it up.
Nope, not at all.
This is mind-blowing. We've set up a Discord bot, connected it to the API, picked a Hugging Face model, and even found a way to keep it running all the time on Colab. We built something really powerful.
We did. And you know, this whole deep dive has really shown how much easier it's become to create your own AI applications.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that long ago this stuff seemed like science fiction.
I know, right? And now anyone can do it. What kind of AI application are you going to build? What problems are you going to solve with these new tools? What creative ideas are you going to bring to life?
It's exciting to think about all the possibilities. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. And until next time, happy coding.